Hi everyone! Today I'll be talking about psychological and physical abuse of sex trafficking. Every year, thousands of innocent women, children, and even men are sex trafficked throughout the world. Many people are not aware of the frightening number of times this occurs, nor do they think about the cycle of psychological torture that the survivors of this horrific crime will endure, as well as the physical torture they undergo. The victims of sex trafficking are some of the most complex to understand. This is a global issue because it affects every country in some way and has gotten attention from the United Nations. Typically, victims are taken from third world countries and moved across international borders to wealthier countries to be sold. Now, what is sex trafficking? Sex trafficking is human trafficking for the use of sexual exploitation. It is classified as sex trafficking if individuals perform commercial sex through the use of force, fraud, or coercion. If the individual is under 18, however, they are considered victims of human trafficking even if force, fraud, and coercion are not used. Sex trafficking is considered a form of modern-day slavery. Anytime a person is forced to perform sexual services against their will, it is considered slavery. Now, victims. Anyone can become the victim of sex trafficking. However, some populations have a higher risk than others, such as refugees, homeless youth, victims of prior abuse, the poor or impoverished, and immigrants. Now, can be much more to this list. This is just a few of the populations that are targeted. For physical effects, physical abuse is used as a way to control and show dominance by traffickers. However, they are also experience physical abuse from the ones pushing the sexual acts. They could experience broken bones, rape, starvation, brain trauma, burns, and of course the list can go on. They may also suffer from sexually transmitted diseases and other problems. The psychological toll that sex trafficking can have on victims, many people don't think about, and the mental impact on victims can be more harmful than the physical pain they endure. They could endure anxiety, suicidal tendencies, Stockholm syndrome, substance abuse, depression, and typically what is treated is what is seen. Many of these cannot be seen just by looking at someone, so it requires victims to come forward and seek help. Unfortunately, not many do or don't know where to even start. The trauma these victims endure, whether it's psychological or physical, can be devastating. If more people understand the damage that is caused by this, then they could help and be there with more care and support and options for them. Now, many people ask the question, why don't they just go seek help? Now, many people ask the question, why don't they just go seek help? Well, they can encounter many challenges when doing this, such as They confiscated their ID, cell phones, money. They forbid them from communicating with friends, which goes into the whole showing dominance over them. And they also could be monitored very closely, restricting their movement. Interventions that are done globally. The United Nations have worked for years trying to combat sex trafficking, from funding support programs to sending NGO workers. The world must work toward reducing human trafficking and sexual assault. And then these are my citations.